Well, what's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and welcome to the next episode of the People's Questions, where I answer all the questions that you guys have sent me over the past week. We got a pretty standard episode. I think we might have had even maybe one or two newbies, but the rest of them are pretty standard. However, there is one extremely strange question that I'm going to save for last, which kind of begs the question, where do you guys get these crazy ideas? But let's jump right into them. The first question is technically two questions from a YouTuber who I guess is taking the spot of two people, and that is Hunter Bros. And you want to know, is there anyone I want to use that isn't from a game like, I don't even know how to pronounce this name, but the game that you were mentioning, I actually looked it up. I've never actually heard of that game, so I guess there's nobody from that game I would want to use. Going into your second question, you want to know, what are my thoughts on people comparing Sebastian from The Evil Within to Leon from Resident Evil 4, and if they went into a fight with all their best equipment, who would win? Okay, the problem is that Sebastian is a simple detective, and Leon is actually a properly trained combatant. So Leon would undoubtedly take down Sebastian. I mean, there's just no comparisons. I mean, trust me, Leon probably could easily have gotten through The Evil Within, both games, but there's a number of key situations that Sebastian just would not be able to survive without question. Next question comes from Alu Cerna. You want to know, out of all of the Devil Arms, Devil May Cry, which is my favorite? The Beowulf, Gauntlets, and Greaves. No question, absolutely love those. Next question comes from Diadrive CJ. You want to know, what are my favorite 5 to 7 Aeons out of all from the Final Fantasy franchise? Well, you said 5 to 7, so I decided to stick with 6. So they're listed in this order. I'm not going to pick a specific Aeon from a specific game, because I know that, you know, certain ones keep reappearing, but they have like new designs. I'm just talking overall in general. So starting off real quick with number 6. Number 6 is Leviathan. Number 5 is Shiva. Number 4 is Yojimbo. Number 3 is Knights of the Round. Number 2 is Anima. And number 1 is Bahamut. Next question comes from Russell Farmer. You want to know, if Zack Fair had survived, how so do you think he would have done against Sephiroth at the end of Final Fantasy VII? I think that had Zack survived the final encounter with the Shinra army forces, I think he probably would be more than a match to take on Sephiroth. I'm not saying he would beat Sephiroth, but I think that he would be in the same position that Cloud was in Advent Children. I think having a good amount of time to kind of revamp his skill set. Put it like this. If Zack, let's say that Cloud had pretty much stayed in a coma for like the entirety of Final Fantasy VII, and Zack had taken his place. So put Zack in Cloud's position for all Final Fantasy VII, I really think that they would have done extremely well. I mean, I'm not saying that with Cloud that they did poorly, because they definitely handled a lot of situations, but I just think that having a much more properly trained combatant in Zack would have put them in a much stronger position. Next question comes from Good Neutral Evil Chaos. You want to know, would I be open to putting Alex Mercer or James Heller from the prototype games in a fight? No. No, that's pretty self-contained. I can't really think of anyone that would be a good match. I know that some people have said, well, why don't you put them up against Infamous characters? And I think enough people have already done those matches, and I've seen the outcomes, and I have nothing to argue against those. Next question comes from the Immortal Super Being. You want to know, who do I think would win this match? Dante from Devil May Cry 4 or Spawn from the animated series? In that case, I think that Dante would probably win in that scenario. But if you were to take all the interpretations of Dante, putting him up against all the interpretations of Spawn, I think Spawn would undoubtedly win. Spawn had, I mean, you're talking about the guy who literally took out both the devil and God, the creator, by himself and became the creator. So I think that's far more dangerous than anything Dante had ever experienced in his life. But I would say in these specific forms, I'm pretty sure Dante wouldn't have a hard time getting a quick head, you know, just decapitation. Next question comes from Virgil, the son of Sparta. You want to know, who do I think had more in their prime, Umbrella or Tricell? Undoubtedly Umbrella. Tricell really didn't do much, but Umbrella had a lot of really powerful resources, and they were able to get a lot of things done. So I think Umbrella would definitely be better. Next question comes from Zyborg 1-6. He wants to know, what are my thoughts on the news release that the writers from Game of Thrones are going to help make a new Star Wars films? I don't really care, because I'm not going to go see these films. I have no interest in anything Disney wants to do with Star Wars. They have proven that. They have yet to make a Star Wars movie I thought was even competent. I think the closest thing they've gotten to that is Rogue One, and that was just a safe movie. I didn't think it was all that great. It was one of those films I saw once, I didn't need to see it again. Force Awakens and The Last Jedi are absolutely abominations to film itself, and there's just no arguing that. And at this point, I don't even want them to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, because if they could fuck up Luke Skywalker, I don't even want to know what they're going to do with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, I know a lot of people would like to see an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, but personally, after what I've seen Disney do with this franchise, I would be happy if they didn't do it. Next question comes from the first newbie of the episode, going by the name of Rain932, and you want to know, would I be willing to use DMC reboot characters in my Versus series, or are they in similar situation as Lightning, where I hate them so much I refuse to use them? You know what, Rain? You want a DMC character so bad? You want him so bad? You're gonna get him! Just you wait. Couple more months, I got a perfect match planned for Steve. Specifically Steve. I'm not gonna use Bob, and I damn sure ain't ever gonna use Lightning, unless I get to pick the rules. But Steve, I got a plan, I got a matchup for Steve, so you want a DMC character? You're gonna get it. Now, next question comes from JBat, and you want to know, am I excited for God of War coming out for PlayStation 4 official release date? Yes, of course, I'm looking forward to playing it, although I'm still puzzled why they just didn't call it just God of War 4. I mean, when people years from now are going to ask, hey, I want to play God of War, which one, the 2005 version or the 2018 version? I mean, just call it God of War 4. Next question comes from Matt Cruz. He wants to know, what has been my least favorite console that I've used? Xbox One. If you guys go back far enough in my videos, you'll know the story of, a lot of people had encouraged me saying, Brian, you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to give Xbox a chance. Give the competition a chance. So I went out of my way and purchased an Xbox One, and over the span of 6 months, I turned it on 10 times, beat 4 games, and played the best game that the Xbox One would ever spit out, and was not impressed. And so I traded it in, and I picked up a third PlayStation 4, specifically my Darth Vader themed PlayStation 4, which I still have. So yeah, Xbox One. Next question comes from Black Lady, and you want to know Aqua from Kingdom Hearts versus Cloud Strife. I don't really like to use anyone from Kingdom Hearts. I mean, Sephiroth is an exception, but that's because he is, to his core, a Final Fantasy character, and there's enough about him in Kingdom Hearts that I can level down. But when you put Kingdom Hearts characters, that just changes. There's so many factors that could play into that. It just makes the matchups with them just seem so unfair. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons I would never use Sora. So Aqua's in that same department. So honestly, I can't pick who would win. Now we come to the last question of the episode, and by far the weirdest question that I've seen in some time. Coming from Marcus Reiner, I hope I said your name right. And you want to know, you guys better buckle yourself up for this one, because this one is really weird. If Simba and Nala, specifically from The Lion King, were infected with the dormant species Plagueis, or Plagueis, you should say, the Ouroboros virus, or the C virus, which Resident Evil powerhouse character do I think they would hold their ground against? Jack Krauser, Sadler, a mind-controlled Jill Valentine, Albert Wesker, or Jake Muller? So, 2 lions get infected with any one of these diseases, and you want to know who they would hold their own against. Well, they're lions, so I don't really think they would be that competent with their attacks. I think they'd be pretty predictable. And to be frank, I think they would lose against everybody. I mean, let's be frank here. Jack Krauser, a mind-controlled Jill, Albert Wesker, and Jake Muller all have guns. So That's one thing. And Sadler can transform into a gigantic creature, which I seriously doubt two little lions would be able to take down. So I'm pretty sure that a mutated or infected Simba and Nala would probably lose to everybody. And with that, those are the questions that you guys sent for this episode. I'd like to thank all of you guys, including Rain93, for the awesome set of questions that you guys sent in. If you guys have any more questions you would like me to answer in next week's episode, be sure to type them in the comments down below, but make sure you get them in to me before next Wednesday before I start filming the next episode. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time.